Hi all, my name is Darlene Alvarado Hernandez and I will be speaking about Saint Elizabeth Ann Seton. She is considered the first American-born saint and a mother to Catholic education. She's a native of New York. She was married to William Seton, but at the age of 30 she was left with 5 children. She was born Episcopal, but later decided to convert to the Catholic religion. By making this choice, she plunged herself into an entirely different religious environment, and her decision to convert to the religious education affected her relationship with friends. She later moved to Emmitsburg, Maryland, where she she had a dream to open a school for poor children and offer religious education and general education for free. She had to overcome many obstacles, but she always remained firm in her belief that God would provide. She truly believed in God's divine providence. She was shut down many times, but she always continued to fight to open a new school for poor children, to offer religious attributes as part of its curriculum. Finally, circumstances began to fall into place which enabled her vision to become a reality. Samuel Cooper, a seminarian and also a convert, purchased land near Emmitsburg, which allowed her to use this land to open a school. She received money through friends, and she also founded the American Sisters of Charity on July 1809. So along with the Sisters of Charity, she was able to open a school for poor children, which offered education for free and also offered religious education as part of their curriculum. The school was staffed by the sisters who took teaching as their religious charism. The school was governed, financed, administered, and staffed by the Sisters of the Charity. Christian character development, faith formation, Catholic values, and academic foundations were the basis of Elizabeth's educational program. At the time, Bishop Dubourg believed that the United States needed education in faith and wanted this to be a major focus of the school. Elizabeth Seton focused on encouraging her students to believe in Jesus Christ and God our Father. She encouraged her students to always see God as their father and their friend and to not fear him, rather to put all their trust in him so that they could forget that hell existed. As part of her curriculum, she taught many different subjects. She knew French, so she taught French, English, reading. She also had knitting, weaving. She also offered music, dancing, and drawing, which were taught by specialized teachers. A direct quote from Elizabeth Seton says, "There are in the country and perhaps too many mixed schools in which ornamental accomplishments are the only objects of education. We have none that I know where their acquisition is connected with and made subservient to pious instruction. In such a one you certainly wish to be yours." She was very adamant of offering this religious education. She states in her quote that way too many schools existed in which their accomplishments were ornamental, meaning they lacked the strong foundation, which was the teachings of God. Also, I'm going to offer a critique which comes from one of my resources, which is by Leslie James and Ray from Resilience as a Life Practice, Journal of Christian Education. They state they spoke a little bit about Elizabeth's background. They also state that education and learning may be required for a person to work through a difficult situation. Elizabeth Seton was a resilient person, and as a result of her education, she was resilient, and not as a result of her educational background or degree, rather because of the quality of education she had in mind for her students. They stated that because she valued diverse education, she provided the same for her children as well for her students. Elizabeth provided a diverse array of subjects for her students, including French, German, Spanish, Italian, music, and instruction in geography. Elizabeth was well educated in diverse subjects and promoted the same for her students. She also empowered the older students and encouraged their learning by asking them to teach younger students. I believe her vision and she was able to accomplish this. She always had a strong faith in God, and still now today, within the Catholic religion, there are many schools named after her. There's a museum. It's still in Emmitsburg, along with the original school. And I believe that she truly was resilient, and that's what teachers need nowadays, especially in where public schools, they lack this foundation that she really envisioned and truly worked hard for. And I believe this is important, especially coming from public schools myself, where now I teach at a religious school, and I can totally see the difference in my students. Where in public school there's always this fear of speaking about God, but in religious education, we're able to prepare our students for society, to provide to society, and also to teach them about the love of God and how they could love others. And I see how this has truly impacted the students. So I totally agree with her vision, and I admire her hard work and dedication to get to where she got to open these schools for children who didn't have the funds necessary to go to the school. And not only were they receiving education, but they also were able to receive religious education, which is very important in our society today as well as it was back in the day. Thank you.